Welcome to The Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with your host, Charlie Butler. This is where you'll learn to sell your home quickly and for more money. And now, the host of The Real Estate Show, the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. You're listening to the Charlie Butler Show. And as I am every Sunday, this is Charlie Butler. And I'm here with my co-host, Debbie Barr.
Good morning, Charlie. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Debbie. How's everything going this Sunday morning?
You know, it's a wonderful, calm, and relaxing Sunday. I'm starting off the day with you, so what more could I say?
Until we find you another guy, best you got. I actually just saw Leslie Morgan again. So, I mean, every time I tell her, I said, you got that huge audience on KDQ.
Yeah.
Not as big as the Charlie Butler Show's got, I know.
Yeah.
But it's a different audience,
Well, like I say, if it's not a good date, it's a good story. So I'm always up. I'm always up for a good date that could be a good story.
Well, just as long as you share the good stories here on the air. Okay,
yes.
that's good. Anyway, so we've got a really, really busy market. We're getting into March now, which is always a good time in real estate.
Yes, and it's so important that if, someone out there is getting ready to buy, to get pre-approved for their financing, so they know exactly what they can be approved for. Whenever I talk to a new buyer, I always like to start out saying, "What's the highest you want to go, or what's the highest mortgage payment you want to go with?" That way they know their numbers right off the bat. Another reason to get pre-approved is just so we can check your credit and make sure everything on there is correct and your credit scores are where they need to be.
Yeah, today, I mean, I know it wasn't always this way, but because I've been a realtor a couple years, so
a few,
there was a time when they said, "Well, okay, if they got a pre-approval letter, that's fine." But today, if they don't have a pre-approval letter, and we tell people get pre-approved first,
yes,
because they don't have a pre-approval letter, most sellers are not going to take them seriously.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And the realtors aren't either.
Yes.
And we saw it just recently on my team, and he knew better, but he lost the deal because he didn't have his people pre-approved yet, and he could have.
Yes.
And the other people were pre-approved.
Yes.
And they took less money for the ones that were pre-approved because they looked at it as as more of a sure thing.
Yes. And anything and everything can happen. I had one girl pre-approved, and a credit report is only good for 120 days. She was having a new home built. We were ready to start in with the financing for the new home. It was about 3 months after she had been pre-approved. And I said, "Can I go ahead and re-pull your credit?" And she said, "Yeah." Well, she didn't realize it, but she had a student loan that was reporting as, I think it was 90 days past due. She thought it was being deferred. The payment was being deferred. She had not heard from the student loan department, no mail, no email, no nothing. So we had to scramble to get that fixed on her credit report. Luckily, she was able to get in touch with a great person at, I think it was whichever student loan company it was, and we were able to get it worked out, and now we're on our merry way. But I've actually had another borrower that happened to, and his credit score just dropped below the program requirements for what we had him set up for. So we had to shift gears with that. Credit is so important. I had a lady here recently that she had pulled her credit and was seeing things show up one way. There were a couple items that were paid, another item had a balance on it. And then for some reason, whenever I pulled her credit report, the same first two items had balances on them, and the other item showed a zero balance. So crazy things can happen. We just need to know that up front so we can get them worked out.
Right. And most things, we've seen this, most things can be worked out.
Yes.
If we're up front, and it's kind of like in a defense attorney I heard, a famous defense attorney on TV, told me, or I heard him say one time, he was, I forget what case he was commenting on, but he said, there are more people in jail for lying than there are for actually committing the crime. And,
Yeah.
and his point was, if they'd been straight right up front,
Yes.
everything would have been okay.
Yes.
Probably wasn't a good idea to talk about buyers going to jail for not, that was not exactly,
But
where I was
going a
with
different
that.
direction.
I hope everybody knew what I meant there.
I always try and be straight and up front with my buyers. Let them know what their credit scores are. Let them know exactly what's on their credit report. I had someone that had been pre-approved, and the realtor reached out to me and said, can you look at this buyer and see what you can do for him? He didn't really like the avenue they were initially going. And I looked at it, and after I'd pulled the buyer's credit report, I said, hey, did you know you have this, this, and this on there? She said, no, the other guy never told me any of that. So there are quite a few lenders out there. They'll just pull your credit report, say you're pre-approved. And I would think that once you get started in the loan with them, things are going to pop up that you could have already been taking care of. And they just didn't hit up front, didn't let you know ahead of time.
We're going to, by the way, you are listening to the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. And someone who can speak about this, who I know has frustration with some lenders, certainly not Evie, but some other lenders, is our guest today, is from Keller Williams, is Teresa Catanese.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Teresa, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Teresa's one of my favorite people, and one of them. Okay,
not
Teresa is my favorite person. I misread my script here. Okay,
Yeah, get that straight.
let me get that straightened out. But Teresa and I have something in common. We both had other careers before we went in real estate, and so we were talking about this off the air. So, Teresa, what kind of a change was that for you to go from your previous career to real estate?
Well, I owned my own business for 20 years. For 10 years, I had a little consignment boutique on the east side, and then I started a modeling agency. I had that for 10 years.
Right.
So 20 years total. I really was just kind of burned out on the world. And so I closed my both businesses and just kind of sat out for a little bit and decided to go into real estate. A friend of mine had tried to talk me into it for a while, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not something I'd be interested in. And decided to start looking for a house and thought, yeah, I kind of like going into people's houses. So apparently,
a creeper now we got, huh?
Apparently, you have to have a license to go into people's houses. It is highly frowned upon if you do not. So, got my license. Now I'm legal.
So do you have to crawl in windows anymore to get in the
No,
houses?
not anymore. No,
Okay.
I'm legal.
People who have looked at houses know that we've got like e-keys where we put, there's a box on the door, and where we push a code in, and you open the box. One of our realtors at Keller Williams, who we all know, but I won't rat her out here because I'm afraid of her. But anyway, she comes to my office one day and she said, "Mike, do you know the e-keys don't work after midnight?" And I said, "I never tried, so I don't know." And she said, her and her husband were on date night, and her husband's an investor, so they go out and start looking at houses on their date night, and they're out after midnight looking at houses. And I didn't know, but our e-keys don't work from 12 to 5 in the morning.
I did not know that. Now I know.
Yeah.
And I have to say, whoever that might be, if that's what you do on your date night, you need to go to some sort of counseling because
she is a great person. She's one of my favorites, but she's. I know if she's listening, she's saying, "You better not say my name. I swear you better not say my name." So was it a big change for you? It
was a big change. It's something I should have done maybe 20 years ago. If I'd had any clue, I would have done it 20 years ago. But yeah, it was a big change. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
It's funny you said what you did because, I talk to people who are thinking about getting their license and they're in their 20s, and I've told them, I said, if I was your age, and I had a chance to do this at that time, and I had known what could have happened, I'd been retired a long time ago.
Well, I'm not ever going to retire.
Well, I don't know, but we could have though.
Yeah, we could have.
Yeah.
We could have.
We
If
could
I'd
have.
have started when I was 20, it'd be different. I most definitely. If someone would have counseled me, that's one thing they don't teach in high school. Career counselors need to teach really jobs that people like.
Well, and you don't have to have, it doesn't hurt to have a college education. Because it always helps, even though I really didn't use mine, for real estate. I still feel like it helped me, but you don't have to have one.
No, you don't have to.
This is a profession that can be very rewarding, not only with the people that you deal with, but also financially. And you don't have to have a college education.
No.
Common sense, I think, gets you a long way in real estate. Just knowing how to handle people. Well, and maybe that wasn't the best way to put, but, just being a little bit savvy, knowing the ins and outs, and really common sense keeps on coming into my mind, just thinking things through and knowing the right way to handle people and their situation. I have a question though. How long have you been in real estate?
This is my 4th year. It'll be 4 years in September. So, yeah.
One of the really cool things about Teresa and her team is you are bringing on young realtors who are new into the business. And I think you're doing a great job of showing them the ropes.
Thank you. Yeah, I like new people because I think if you're trained correctly, then you have much better opportunity to succeed. I don't feel like the company I was with previously trained me like Keller Williams has. And I think if I'd have started with Keller Williams to begin with, I'd be further along than I am right now in my career. But yeah, my team is brand new. I have one girl that just got her license about a month ago, and she's working on her second client right now.
Wow.
She sold her house like in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
it was really
like
quick.
her third day, she had someone under contract. So, which I think is amazing. So, I think when you have a great team that is trainable and coachable, that's what you want.
Yes.
And when Teresa was with another company, and she and I started talking, and we started talking, and Teresa, I appreciate what she said about Keller Williams, but Teresa was already successful. She is she's continued to grow her business. So, but we started talking about teams, and you have really embraced the whole team concept. And so really, I think sometimes it's misunderstood a little bit what we do as far as teams. So you want to why you embrace it and what it's done, how you think it's helped the public and your clients, the fact you've got a team instead of just you now.
Well, it's really good for my clients because now not just me, myself, and I'm sure my sister, who is an English major, is probably having a coronary attack right now. Sorry about that, Gina. But my team helps me with my overload of clients. I love my clients. I've had the best clients, but sometimes we can't juggle everything. And
absolutely.
Personality I'm doing good just to remember to put my shoes on in the morning. So when I have a team that's behind me and keeps me organized, and say I can't be on the east side when I need to be on the west side, I can always have one of my other team members help me out there. And vice versa, I can always help someone else out as well. Like, for example, I was in Las Vegas. Was it last week?
Yeah, we were there 2 weeks ago for the Keller Williams convention.
Yes. And while I was there, obviously I had clients that needed my help, my service, and I wasn't able to provide that for them. So I had team members that were there ready to help where needed.
Well, I can tell a story on Trish from Las
Lord.
Vegas. Not the kind of story.
You know what they say though. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Okay, that part can stay in Vegas. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. But Trey Doby, who was on the show a few weeks ago. Trey and I were having dinner, and I text Teresa to join us, and Teresa says, "I can't. I'm in my room selling a house, right now." And so while with her team here being able to show the homes, Teresa maybe got involved, but the only thing she had to pass up was the great company of Trey and I, to sell a house.
I'm not sure how true that story is. I may have already been in my pajamas and cuddled up, and that may have been my excuse, but I'm going to stick with your story. It sounds much better.
That's what you told me, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's what you told me,
Yeah, no, it is great to have a team because I have Nicole, who is my office manager, and she is a dynamo. She is so organized. I'll say, "Hey, Nicole, can you do such and such for me?" She goes, "I already did that." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus." So she's wonderful. So, yeah, I've got a great team. I have some wonderful buyer's agents. Micah, who is Micah Gardner.
Yeah, Micah's great.
Micah Gardner has been with me for a year as an agent, and she is a little dynamo.
Not just a year she's been with you.
She's been,
seems like longer than that.
Well, she's been a buyer's agent for a year.
Well, that's right.
She was my office manager the year before that.
She is just full of life and has the happiest personality.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Such a sweetheart.
She's awesome. So she is one of my buyer's agents, Jennifer Duckworth, who just also got her license at December, I believe.
Just recently.
Yep. Yeah. Jennifer Duckworth and Megan LaCrosse, who just got her license about a month ago. So those are my 3 buyer's agents. I also have a transaction coordinator who is Eric Walker, and he is very detailed and very organized, and he's going to catch everything that I've messed up on. So he's really a godsend as well.
And I know one of the things that Teresa hit on, and one misconception I don't think Teresa or I either one want to give about teams, because I've had so many people come to me over the years because I've had a team for a long time that says, "How do I start one?" And I'll tell them the first person you get, you and I have had this conversation, is an administrative person. The very first person you get, because you're already the good salesperson, and usually good salespeople aren't real good with paperwork.
Yeah, I fall into that category.
Yeah. And I do too. But so many times, Teresa, and you see it too with other people, they say, "Well, I just go out and get more salespeople." Well, all they've done is create a bigger mess, because you get that administrative person first, then you get maxed out, and then you bill from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Micah was my first office manager. She kept me organized. Yep. She did all my marketing and all my mailings and answered my emails. And it might look like I'm on Facebook 24/7, but I'm really not. I have someone to do that for me. So.
And I do too. I've got a social media person, Almeida, in my office who's many times here with us, and there's stuff, people will tell me about this great blog that I wrote, and
I do write my own blogs.
You do write your own blog?
Yes.
But she does a good job on stuff like that, and I write some of them, but some of them she writes too, and
everybody knows they're listening to the Charlie Butler radio show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But my question is, what is the best way to contact you or someone on your team?
You can contact me directly. I could give you my email, but my last name is such a doozy to spell out. So I'll just give you my phone number. It is 812-454-0989. And then call me directly. You can text me or call me. That's my cell phone number.
And anyone on your team is, whether it be you or someone on your team, great to contact if they're looking to buy or sell, correct?
Correct.
I know we've talked a lot about buyer's agents, but you love listings too.
I love listings too. Yes, I'm the major listing agent on my team.
And what if somebody's thinking, I don't know if my house is just really ready to sell right now? Should they go ahead and give you a call?
Definitely give me a call. I get that a lot, and I'm sure you do too, Charlie.
Yes.
I'll have someone call in, they'll go, well, I need to make some upgrades on my house before I list it on the market. And I always tell them, call me first, let me walk through. Sometimes what you think is going to increase the value of your home is not going to increase it at all, and you're just wasting your time and your money. So give me a call. I'll be happy to walk through your house. I'll give you some pointers. I'll tell you what needs to be done to get your house sold quickly, and and for the best amount of money. That's what we want, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
definitely give me a call. I'll be happy to walk you through it. Tell you, no, you don't need to put new counters in your kitchen. That's just fine. Save a lot of money and a lot of time.
And how are you seeing the inventory with listings right now? I know we always talk about it, but I'd like to get your opinion on it as well.
Well, right now the market is a little bit crazy. Actually, it's a lot crazy. Yep. And I know that y'all hear all the time about inventory. And because I'm still a new agent, and before I became an agent, a lot of agents flipped out all these realtor terms, and I was lost. I had to go to my glossary and find out what in the world y'all were talking about. So I'm just going to tell you, inventory are houses. That's what we want. There's not enough houses on the market for buyers looking for them. So that when you hear inventory, that's what we're talking about.
I'm glad you said that, because I say inventory all the time.
That's because they've been in this business a million years, and you forget what it's like to be a newbie like me. So, but yeah, definitely houses on the market are what we're looking for. There are a lot of buyers looking to purchase their new homes, and there's just not any homes out there for them. For example, Micah, my buyer's agent, and I last night took 2 different clients to one house. It was on the market yesterday for the first day.
Wow.
And both Mike and I and another realtor wrote an offer on the same house on the same day. So that's how fast it's going. The house actually is above asking price is what it's going to be selling for. So
and in case there's anybody out there wondering, and I shouldn't speak, I'll speak for myself here, is where if the times when there is an agent that's on our team and I both are writing an offer, I make sure to don't tell me.
Don't tell me
what you're doing. And we kind of, we build a wall in between those two where, Darren would represent, Joe, and I'll represent John, and they're still going to get, just like I'm sure Teresa and Mike are doing, they're still going to get representation, to the very best of our ability.
At that point, do you tell your buyer whenever you're writing up the offer, hey, I think another offer is coming in? Do you, give them your best offer right off the bat?
Yes. I called the other agent and I asked her, hey, how's it looking? And she said, we've got 2 other offers coming in with yours. So my buyer knew up front that they needed to bring their best offer to the table. So,
and it's, what I always do, is when we get in that situation, I tell people, make the offer where if you lose the house, you gave it everything you've got. This is all you wanted to spend, and you're fine going on to the next house then.
Yeah, that's great advice. I'll have to steal that from you.
You can't. You're well. I thought I had the copyright. Maybe not. You'll steal it anyway. You won't care. You'll be like, sue me. Okay, but so what else are you seeing? I always sit there and talk about what I see in the market, but what are you seeing right now?
I am seeing a lot of first-time home buyers. Someone purchasing their home for the very first time. I would say that's probably 90% of my business are first-time home buyers, a lot of them. And actually, I love working with first-time home buyers because, I know it doesn't look like it and it doesn't sound like it, but I actually am an empty nester now.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit up there. So yeah, it's like I'm a mama bear to my buyers. So sure. I like working with first-time home buyers, but that seems to be a lot of the business right now.
How much? Let me ask you a question, and that a lot of people are out there thinking. They'll hear some agents that will say, "Well, I don't want to work with first-time home buyers because the financing's too hard." Is that overall the case? We all have issues with financing from time to time, but is that the case with you?
No, because I pair up with someone wonderful like Evie Barr at Waterstone Mortgage. And she has a lot of great products to work with first-time home buyers with the FHA and VA and USDA. There's so many different products out there for people buying their home for the first time that might not have the best of credit or might not have a lot of money to put down on a house.
Yes. In those instances, if somebody's not ready to buy, we work out a plan. We figure something out to get them to where they can buy.
Yes.
As long as everybody's upfront and realistic about time frames and what's going on with the situation, it's usually not that hard. And, you know, if a first-time home buyer, whether I'm their lender or someone else, as long as we all communicate, that's the big thing. I can't imagine, you know, somebody not wanting to work with a first-time home buyer because of credit issues. Because honestly, I've got some people who currently own homes and their credit is not as good as the first-time home buyers. It's individual situations. It just varies.
Right.
I'm laughing here because there are. I'm laughing as I'm supposed to say. You're listening to the Charlie Butler Show.
That's right.
Thank you. But I'm also, there are some professions out there where we'll just say, and we won't mention any professions, but where we all know they make deep into six figures and sometimes seven figures, but yet have credit issues.
Yes.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It happens to everybody.
Yeah,
You can't judge a book by its cover.
It
you
does.
know, with that one, whenever you look at credit.
As a very successful business person told me, we were on a golf trip and we were sitting at dinner, and I'm not going to throw any names in there, but you'd recognize both of them. Another one said to this guy, "What's it feel like to be removed? You're so successful now, you couldn't possibly go bankrupt." And he looked at him and he said, "I'm one wrong step away."
Wow.
And we all are.
And we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, goes right in
Yes.
where people who have credit problems,
Yes.
and but in saying that, so Teresa's working a lot with first-time home buyers, but the USDA program is one that I've always liked for the first-time home buyers. I mean, I know it's a little bit tougher now because they've cut the areas down over the last few years, but that program is just tailor-made for first-time home buyers.
Yes, and in case a lot of you out there have no clue what USDA is.
They usually don't know what I'm talking about, Teresa.
They do not.
Teresa is going to translate. We're going to have Teresa and Michelle all the time to translate for me, okay?
Yes, but the whole thing about it is well, Evie is just getting with Evie Barr with Waterstone.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because you don't have to know what FHA means, VA, no. USDA, Hope, Indiana Housing. You don't have to know what any of that is. You just need to get with Evie. She will sit down with you, map out a plan, and tell you what is your best route to purchase a home.
Yes. In my job, I am required to disclose every possible program that might be available to a buyer. So if you are a first-time home buyer, that's where we start out with the application saying, how much do you know about mortgages? Well, I don't know a whole lot. Okay, let's go through all the programs and see which one applies, because they do need that knowledge, and maybe they saw it on the internet. Well, USDA RD loan, what does that mean? Well, it's the United States Department of Agriculture Rural Development Loan, which means if you're looking in, downtown Evansville for a single family residence, it's not possible to finance as USDA because there's too many people living in that area.
But the main thing clients I've always had have wanted to know about USDA, it's no money down.
Yes.
So
0% down.
As long as we can get them in that area. But Teresa, we are getting short on time. So Teresa Catnese at Keller Williams, give us your contact information again. You
can call me directly or text me on my cell phone. It's 812-454-0989. Okay. Evie Barr, if Teresa gets a buyer,
yep,
and they're needing a mortgage,
yep,
how they get a hold of you?
They call me at 812-463-3199.
And you can call me. You can call my team at 812-430-1708 or direct at 812-499-7758. Teresa Catnese, thank you very much. Well, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it. And we are out of time, guys. So for Evie Barr, Teresa Catnese, this is Charlie Butler saying have a great Sunday.
You've been listening to The Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler. Join us every week at this time to find out how to sell your home quickly and for more money. For more information, email cbutler@kw.com or visit charliebutlerteam.com.